What's good, Commanders fans, and happy Sunday. So quickly, I just wanted to say 5 standouts from week 1 of training camp so far. The first, and I want to talk a little bit about Carson Wentz. I was listening to the John Kine podcast with Graham Weinstein. They talked about his performance so far, so I just want to end the video talking about Carson Wentz a little bit and just talk about 5 standouts. Sam Howell somewhat has been a standout. I thought he had a great day, a great day 2 or great 3 from what people said, saying that he looks like quarterback 2. A lot of people asked about Heineke's arm. I haven't been there, but people have said that, he has worked on his arm strength, working on his lower body and his legs, learning somewhat from Carson Wentz how to use his lower body to, work on that arm strength. It's not just about your arms, it's about the lower body as well. So that's the news and notes on Taylor Heineke. I know a lot of people have been asking about Taylor Heineke. But Heineke, he's been working well, guys like Curtis Hodges, Kelvin Harmon, guys like that from what I've seen from the media. So, but number 1 is Cole Turner. He has an opportunity to be tight end number 1 or just work really well with John Bates with Logan Thomas being out. We don't know exactly when he's going to be back, but this is a huge opportunity for Cole Turner. Graham Weinstein and John Kine. Also, JP Finley was saying that the front office, the coaches, that they really think they have a hit in Cole Turner. JP Finley was talking about a play where Cole Turner hit a stutter step and froze the DB and got hit and, got a touchdown catch in the back of the end zone. So he is going to be a big red zone threat and a big red zone target for Carson Wentz. They talk about catch radius a lot, and that's what they want. This guy had 10 touchdowns in college, man. I mean, 10 touchdowns in his last year. So the guy's like 6'5", 6'6", good hands, was a wide receiver in college, then transitioned to a tight end. So he's a good route runner. The only thing that they're concerned about is his blocking. So JP Finley says he thinks he could be a 30 to 40 catch guy this season. So not a great blocker at all, but they said he's going to be in the slot a lot. And he had 2 touchdowns in red zone drills on Saturday. So Cole Turner, I'm expecting some big things. I'm not gonna hype him up too much, but he's got good hands. He's a good route runner. And when Logan Thomas gets back, I think we have a nice trio with him, John Bates, and Cole Turner. Curtis Hodges, we'll see if he makes the roster, or Sammy's Reyes. But I like Cole Turner a lot. I like his swag. I like how he plays mean too. So he's a big physical tight end that can go up there and get it. He's going to be a big safety, a good safety blanket for Carson Wentz. Him and Carson Wentz have a good connection from what I'm hearing as well. So next on the list is Kendall Fuller. We'll just quickly go over him. I thought he had a really good second half of the year. PFF grades him pretty well. Madden as well, for whatever that's worth. They grade him well as well. I know we were hyped up when Madden rated Terry as a top 10 wide receiver. So, we got to, I'm not going to take Madden too seriously, but I'll give them a little bit of credit there. But Kendall Fuller he had a good camp. They said he's been on every play he's been there. He's really stood out, and he could have had 5 picks so far in camp per Graham Weinstein. So we need him to be our corner number 2. William Jackson's supposed to be our cornerback number 1. Either one, who cares? But Kendall Fuller had a really good second half of the year. I think the only time I really saw him got beat bad in the second half of the year was Mike Evans. And Mike Evans pretty much pushed off. But Kendall Fuller and William Jackson, they did a lot better in the second half of the year. So I'm hearing really good things about Kendall Fuller. The secondary as a whole, they said, looked really good. And we always talk about communication. That's going to be a big key for this defense this year. A huge key, because it was lacking in the first part of the year. Like I talked about Hail Marys and just getting beat deep by like 30-yard bombs, Cordell Patterson, Darius Slayton, guys like that. So if Kendall Fuller can step up and have a big year, I think he only has like 1 more year left on his contract after this season. He signed that 4-year, $40 million deal. So if he can be that CB2, or both those guys out there can just ball out, that's what we need from this secondary. That would be huge. Another guy was Corn Elder. They said he's had his moments. He's been making plays every day. As I said, Serge the Shooter said they tried picking on him a lot, but he was there. He was not making a lot of deflections. John Kime said the same thing. Graham Weinstein. And also Pete Haley. I was listening to the JP Finley podcast as well. Another guy, of course, is Jahan Dodson. Do I have to say much about him? I mean, they're saying that he could be another, just like another wide receiver 1, just like Terry. That's what a lot of people are saying. Then we heard the report from Kevin Sheehan and Al Galdi talking about players think that Jahan is better than Terry. Now, I'm not going to talk about that too much, because the guy hasn't even played yet. He has 0 catches, 0 yards, 0 anything right now. He hasn't even stepped on the field yet. So it's way too early, very premature to even say anything like that. But the hype about Jahan, I think it's really, really real. I think he's going to be a really good number 2 next to Terry. They said that he absolutely cooked Derek Forrest in the slot. This is what Pete Haley said, left him in the dust. They said that he's been cooking William Jackson. Everybody that's been lined up against him, he has been able to get yards and get catches on them. So Jahan Dodson has been a standout, and he's just him and Terry right now, people are saying that he has a better connection with Carson Wentz. I mean, him and Jahan has a better connection with Carson Wentz at the moment just because Carson and Terry haven't played a lot yet. So, we'll see. But, man, he's got good hands. He's 5'11", 6 feet, can jump out the gym, catch radius, all that great hands. So, I think he's a great pick. A lot of people were down on the pick, but I was like, this guy can play, man. This guy can play. Coming out of Penn State, I always say, I'm a Maryland fan, but this guy can play, man. Put up big yards against Maryland, Ohio State, a lot of Big Ten teams. This guy Jahan can play. He's a great route runner. Chris Coolio said he's a guy that can dictate the offense and dictate the defense, where he can dictate coverages, and I'm excited to see that this season. So, Dyami Brown's another guy that stood out. He had a huge catch over Kendall Fuller where he mossed him, had some great catches out there, some big plays. The speed is showing, but he's got to do it in the games. He had a great training camp last year. He's got to do it in the games. Got to do it in the games. That's what I'm going to say about Dyami Brown. If he can be a great fourth option out there after Terry, Curtis, and Jahan, that would just be a great addition to this offense. So he's been another standout. Montez Sweat and Deron Payne have stood out as well. There was one time where Deron Payne made a move where Cosby fell to his knees and he got to the quarterback. So, and then, Montez Sweat has been balling. But, we got to see consistency from Montez Sweat as well. Same thing with Deron Payne. Those 2 first-round picks, they've had solid careers so far, but we really need them to put it together and play together as a unit this year coming up, especially with Chase Young being out for possibly the first 4 games of the year. They also, Brandon Weinstein said a concern was that they've been shuffling a lot of offensive line. Another guy that stood out was Stribling, the corner they just picked up. They said he's had a good camp so far as well. But the concerns, here are the concerns here. The defense is ahead of the offense. This is what Brandon Weinstein said. And also he said the offense isn't where he would hoped it would be. They said that they've been shuffling a lot of offensive linemen, and I know Chase Rouillet just came back. Cornelius Lucas, on the non-injury football list. Trey Turner with rest days. A couple guys have been out with rest days and whatnot. So they've been shuffling a lot of offensive linemen, and they got to get that chemistry together. Now, they have a lot of depth, I feel like, but they haven't had a healthy unit yet really to practice. I know it's week 1, so you don't want to panic, but that was some of the concerns that Brandon Weinstein brought up. Let's get to Carson Wentz, and then we're going to end here. And then I hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. But Carson Wentz, they said he's shown a tremendous amount of inaccuracy. This is what Brandon Weinstein has said. He's shown a tremendous amount of inaccuracy. I remember Ethan Caddo tweeted that when Carson Wentz misses, he misses really, really high. That can definitely lead to interception, so that is concern. But Carson Wentz, he only threw 7 picks last year, and then the year before that, in 2019, he didn't throw that many picks. He has a really good touchdown to interception ratio throughout his career, except for the year with the Eagles where he threw 16 touchdowns, 15 picks, and got sacked 50 times. That's the only time where he really threw a good amount of picks. But he also said the D-line is blowing up the offensive line. There were times where they just had to tell the defensive line to relax so the offense could really run some plays. They said the whole secondaries look good. Bobby McCain, Cameron Curl included, so I'm happy to hear that. Other guys, Stribling, Corn Elder, everybody's looked good. Ben St. Juste has looked good at moments, but he struggles in man. He was getting cooked by Curtis Samuel, but in zone, he's been really good. But man, he's been, he was holding Curtis Samuel a little bit, tugging his jersey and whatnot. So that's the concern with Ben St. Juste, just moving his feet. This in on Carson Wentz. This is what Brandon Weinstein said about Carson Wentz, and I'm paraphrasing here a little bit. He said the concern is Wentz, his accuracy and his decision making has been off. You aren't going to like what you saw, which is basically what he said about Carson Wentz's performance. Inconsistent and not accurate. Sometimes where he'll throw too high. You're going to have a lot of batted balls. The decisiveness is not there on intermediate routes. He needs to get the ball out of his hands quickly. His confidence needs to get built back up. He said it's a psychological thing. He was very accurate in Philadelphia, and he said that Ron Rivera is trying to make him feel good and make him feel good here. Like, every time Ron Rivera says a lot that we want you here. We want you to be here. Ron Rivera has said that a lot. Even when he got off the plane, when they showed Carson Wentz get off the plane or coming to Ashburn to do the press conference, Ron Rivera's like, we want you here. We want you to be here. Obviously, he's saying that because the Eagles didn't want him. They traded away. He ate the most dead cap and to trade Carson Wentz. And then Jim Irsay has nothing but bad things to say about Carson Wentz. So Ron Rivera's trying to pump him up, get his mental there. Things didn't end well in Indianapolis. Things didn't end well in Philly. Also, Brandon Weinstein was saying, like, if Carson Wentz doesn't play well, they're not going to say it's like a competition because they want to build his confidence up. So some of that is concerning to me. And I talked about this when everybody's like, oh, they should draft a quarterback. And I was like, no, you should not, because Carson Wentz psyche is mental. Now, I'm confident in Carson Wentz. I'm rooting for him. But I can't ignore the red flags. I can't ignore the whole Nick Foles shrine thing. I can't ignore how things ended in Indianapolis with the last 2 games of the year. those red flags I can't ignore. I can't ignore some of the rumors and reports that other players have said that, what they've said about Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz himself said at the presser, he said some of those things are true and he's going to work on that. So I would be naive to, act like Carson Wentz is the best quarterback in the world and that these things did not happen or transpire. So something that needs to work on is only week one, working on the chemistry with Terry, working on the chemistry with Jahan, but he's looked good with Cole Turner and Jahan as well. De'Ami Brown, he's made some big plays and made some bad plays. Been very up and down, inconsistent from what I'm hearing from Bram Weinstein and also media members as well. So that's it on Carson Wentz. Like I said, we'll see. But I think he's going to be a solid quarterback. But like I said, I can't ignore the red flags. All right, you guys. Hell to Commanders. Peace.